Y'all, football is back, baby. We're crawling into week one. I'm so excited to help get you guys cashing every single week on DraftKings. Well, without further ado, let's get to the picks. To start us off with our DraftKings picks, we're going to look at a quarterback. Now, our top quarterback tier is at $7,300 with Lamar Jackson. Jackson is a quarterback that you can freely stack due to his hyper-targeting of the two players. He's playing the Jets, ranked 27th in DK points allowed to quarterbacks in 2021. Jackson should be able to score consistently early and often, not only passing the ball, but rushing the ball, which raises his floor quite a bit, which justifies his price tag at $7,300. Now our mid-tier quarterback is coming in at $6,100 with Kirk Cousins. Cousins draws a division foe Green Bay Packers in week one. The last time Cousins played the Packers, he had 341 yards and 3 touchdowns. The Packers ranked 13th in DK points allowed to quarterbacks in 2021. This game should be a shootout, and I'm definitely looking forward to getting some shares of Cousins in week one. Now lastly, let's look at our value tier quarterback at $5,500. We have Matt Ryan. Ryan is playing against Houston, and this should be a bloodbath. Ryan is going to want to prove he can still has it, and he wants to be able to play the Texans very, very well. The Texans don't have the defense really to stop him in week one. In 2021, the Texans ranked 25th in DK points allowed to quarterbacks. Look to create a stack with Ryan in week one and enjoy the solid points that he can put up. Now let's head over there to the running back position and talk about our top tier running back at $9,100 in Jonathan Taylor. Taylor should be able to do whatever he wants to do against the Texans. The Texans ranked 28th in DK points allowed to running backs in 2021, and coming to town is Jonathan Taylor. The last 2 games combined, Taylor has owned the Texans rushing for 288 yards and 4 touchdowns. Even with the high price of $9,100, Taylor is definitely worth that pay up. Take Taylor as your first piece and build around him. Now, let's talk about our mid-tier that's coming in at $6,700 with Aaron Jones. Jones takes on the Vikings, who ranked 22nd in DK points allowed to running backs in 2021. Now with Davante Adams gone, look for Aaron Jones, who is already catching quite a few passes in this offense, to take on even a bigger pass catching role. Aaron Jones should be heavily used in week one, so get him in your lineups. Lastly, let's look at our value tier running back. At $4,500, we have Brian Robinson Jr. Robinson Jr. takes on the Jaguars, who ranked 21st in DK points allowed to opposing running backs in 2021. Robinson Jr. should have the short yardage and the goal line carries for this offense. If you're looking for a punt play at the running back position to fit in some of those more high price guys, then Robinson Jr. could fit the bill of a value type of guy. 8 carries for 25 yards and a touchdown isn't out of the realm of possibilities for Robinson Jr. Someone who can get you 8 to 10 DK points and allow you to have some flexibility with your other positions. Now let's head over to the wide receiver position and talk about our top tier wide receiver at $7,800 in Justin Jefferson. Jefferson gets to play in a shootout against the Packers, where the last time he played against them with Kirk Cousins on the field, he put up 8 catches for 169 yards and 2 touchdowns. Even in week 17 without Kirk Cousins, he put up 6 receptions for 58 yards. See, Jefferson is a very safe play in week one. Now, our mid-tier wide receiver is coming in at $5,600 with Allen Lazard. Lazard takes on the Vikings, who ranked 32nd in DK points allowed to wide receivers in 2021. Lazard gets the opportunity to be the number 1 wide receiver in the absence of Davante Adams. There is no better way to start out the season than against the poorest secondary of the Vikings. Lastly, let's look at our value tier wide receiver at $3,300. We have Paris Campbell. Campbell is coming in at almost minimum price and should easily have a great game as the number 2 wide receiver for the Colts. Matt Ryan should be slinging the ball all over the field, and Campbell could come down with some DK points for your team. Now let's head over to the tight end position and talk about our top tier tight end at 6,800 and Mark Andrews. Andrews is taking on the Jets, who simply do not have the opportunities to stop the tight end last season. They ranked 25th in DK points allowed to the tight end position. Andrews gets a bump from being hyper-targeted by Lamar Jackson and should have his way with the Jets defense. Look for Andrews to have a big game in Week 1. Now our mid-tier tight ends coming in at 4,900 with TJ Hawkinson. Hawkinson gets a matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles, who ranked 32nd in DK points allowed to the tight end position. Hawkinson can easily be a plug-and-play in Week 1. The Lions should be down early and often, which give Hawkinson ample amount of opportunities to make plays. The last time Hawkinson played the Eagles, he had 10 receptions for 89 yards. Plug in Hawkinson with confidence that he will give you some nice points for mid-range cost. Lastly, let's look at the value tier tight end at 3,300. We have Hayden Hurst. Hurst takes on the Steelers, who ranked 17th against the tight end in 2021. Hurst is a bona fide number 1 tight end for an offense who loves to throw the ball with Joe Burrow. At 3,300, this allows you to have a tight end or a flex at almost min price, so you can plug and play some of these big price players in the other slots. When you look at value, you must see an opportunity to score some points, and Hurst gives you just that. Now on to our Bengal Tiger Lock of the Week. In Week 1, our Lock of the Week is Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon takes on the Pittsburgh Steelers, who ranked 24th in DK points given up to the running back position. The last time Mixon played the Steelers, he had 28 carries for 165 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Steelers simply do not have an answer for Joe Mixon. With Mixon set to be on the field for more third downs in 2022, look for Mixon to start to improve from his 2021 campaign and start to produce even more beginning with the Steelers in 2022. I'm locking in Mixon 100% of my lineups in Week 1. As always, thank you for watching the video. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, consider hitting that subscribe button. I can't wait to help you guys cash each and every week on DraftKings. Let's land us some tournament wins, and I can't wait to see you guys next week. See you then.